Hey guys, welcome to another Gauging Gadgets Fenix 6 review video. In this video we'll be doing a full overview and walkthrough of the Fenix 6 Sapphire. So I've had my Fenix 6 Sapphire for a couple months now and I absolutely love it. So in this video we'll be going through everything on the Fenix 6. This includes the watch faces, the widgets, all the activities and the data that's available for them and customizations. We'll be going through the maps, everything. So if you're interested in the Fenix 6, this should be a very helpful video for you. Before we get started, just have a couple things I want to cover. If you're trying to figure out which Fenix 6 is right for you, check the description because I have a video covering all the different models of the Fenix 6 and the differences and prices, everything like that. So that should be helpful. I also have created several in-depth tutorials of how to do different things on the Fenix 6. So I recommend checking those out because you'll be able to see more in-depth steps with the Fenix 6, and it might also help you get it set up or use it once you do decide to purchase one. And lastly, if you decide to get a Fenix 6, please consider using the affiliate links in the description because that'll really help me out. Alright, so let's go and get started with my in-depth review of the Fenix 6. Alright, so let's begin by taking a closer look at the design and the look of the Fenix 6. This is the standard Fenix 6, meaning it is a 47mm body with a 1.3-inch display. Now this is the Sapphire version, so you will notice a little bit more glare. That's really the only downside of the Sapphire, but I haven't noticed any problem when I'm outside looking at it in direct sunlight. The Sapphire version also includes a diamond-like carbon that is on the outside of the metal. There is a very small scratch, and I did that while hiking the Angels Landing Trail in Zion National Park, so I just rubbed it against some rock right there and I got a little scratch. But other than that, there are no scratches on the display or the bezel, which is great because I've done a lot of construction around my house and a lot of hiking during that time, and I know I've hit this on metal with no scratches at all really, besides this one which was on rock. Now it does have 5 buttons, 3 on the left side, 2 on the right, and they have a really good feeling to them. They're all metal as well, and you get some nice feedback when you press it so that you know that it was fully pressed. The bands are a 22mm, and these are quick connect, so you can quickly take them off and very easily put them on. So if you buy new ones on Amazon, very easy to install those, no issue at all. And they're a silicone material that does stay pretty clean. I haven't cleaned this at all during my entire time of wearing it, and as you can see, there's not much dirt on it, a little bit of dead skin maybe, but overall on the outside it looks great and it's very soft, and I haven't had any issues with it causing any discomfort or anything. It's a very comfortable silicone band. Now this is a 14mm watch. It weighs about 80 grams, and I definitely can notice that weight difference when wearing it compared to my Vivoactive 4 or my Forerunner 245, but I really haven't found it to be that big of an issue. No discomfort while sleeping and no discomfort while wearing it. But if that's a little bit too big for you, they do have the options of titanium so that you lose some weight, but also the Fenix 6S, which is a little bit smaller as well. And as you can see, one of the added benefits of the Fenix 6 is you have the metal back, so it's very protected on the front and the back with that metal. Alright, so just as a quick comparison, I have a Vivoactive 4 here on the right. The display size is going to be the same. This is the standard Vivoactive 4, which has a 45mm body with a 1.3-inch display, so the same size display as the Fenix 6. And just so you can get a quick comparison of what they look like, the thickness right there. Looking at the back. Both these are great watches, really love the displays on each of them, and the Vivoactive 4 is going to have a touch screen. I really like the look of the Vivoactive 4. And if you are interested in seeing an in-depth comparison between the Vivoactive 4 and the Fenix 6, check the link in the description because I do plan on making that. And now a very quick comparison with the Forerunner 245. This has a 1.2-inch display, so it's a little bit smaller. You see the thickness as well. The weight difference is huge here. The 245 is much lighter. As you can see, all these watches have the same heart rate monitor and then the same charging cable connector. So those are standard basically with all the new Garmin watches. Alright, so now that we've taken a closer look at the design of the Fenix 6 and we've compared it to the Vivoactive 4 and the Forerunner 245, let's go ahead and dig into the watch and start looking at the settings and menus. We'll begin with the watch faces available on the Fenix 6. Alright, so the Fenix 6 comes with several built-in watch faces. You can also download third-party watch faces from the Garmin Connect IQ store, and I have a couple of those downloaded, but they're pretty standard and you can look those up. They come with tons of data sets and different unique looks, and most of them are going to be free, so I recommend checking that out. I do have a tutorial covering how to install those. Check the description for that below. But to customize the built-in watch faces, all we need to do is hold down the menu button, and then once the menu opens, select watch faces. So as you can see, that bar right there on the left side, we can scroll through all the built-in watch faces. We can even create our own by going to the plus symbol at the bottom, and then you can see the ones that I've downloaded from the Garmin Connect IQ store. So these will have everything from moon phase, they have the sunrise, sunset, they have all that information. I do find that the built-in watch faces update a little bit quicker. So when I was driving cross country, I kind of like to see the altitude that I'm at. Just it's kind of cool to see that change, and it updates very quickly, probably every like 20 or 30 seconds on the Fenix 6. So that was really cool to be able to see that. Once you select the watch faces, you can go into customize. We could first change the layout, and that's where you go through all those different available layouts. After that, we can change the data, and this is where each of these little areas right here are an open data set, so you can select what data will be displayed there. It's really cool because these all update continuously, basically. So I'll go through these so you can see what's available. After that, we have accent colors, and that's just going to be some of the colors available there. They do have a ton of colors available, but as you can see, it doesn't really make that big of a change, especially on this watch face. And then you have background color, which can be either white or black. And that's just going to be preference. This does not have a display that would actually conserve energy with the black background, so you can really select anything you want there. And then after that, you're done, you can select it, and now you have your new watch face. So it's pretty cool that you can customize all these watch faces on there. You can change the data out. If you find that you're in a situation where you need a different set of data than you were before, you can quickly change that and then have it on your watch face. Very cool. Now, one thing to keep in mind about the third-party watch faces, those will all be customized in the settings on your Garmin Connect IQ app on your phone. So you'll download them using that app, and then you'll customize them there. All the settings are available in that app. The only thing you can do with those on the watch is just select them. All right, so now that we've gone through the different watch faces that are available on the Fenix 6, let's go through the widgets. So a widget is basically going to be a data set that you can see by going up or down from the watch face. So as you can see right there, we can see the different widgets. This is ABC, it's kind of compass, barometer, and then your altitude as well. They have weather, sunrise, sunset. The Fenix 6 is actually pretty unique in these. That if I go on my Forerunner 245, you can kind of see that they take up the entire screen. So if I go up, it's going to be one widget per screen. But with the Fenix 6, they've kind of made it so you see the widgets 3 at a time, really, which is really awesome. You can get a ton of data just by scrolling through the widgets. And then if you want to see more information, you can simply select into it and you can see more data. And then once you're selected into it, you can even see more information about each little piece of it, which is really cool. So it's really easy to navigate, to see a ton of information, and then select into them. All right, so let's go through all the widgets so you get a good idea of what's available on the Fenix 6. These are going to be all the widgets that come with it, but you can also download third-party widgets from the Garmin Connect IQ store. So first we start out with the ABC widget, which we've already gone through. We have weather, which uses data from your phone to download the weather information. It also includes a 4-hour forecast and a 4-day forecast. We have sunrise, sunset. This just shows when the sun will go up and when it will go down. It also gives you the twilight times, which is really nice. And then the next couple days, you can go scroll through there and see all the information you want. I find that to be really useful. This uses GPS on the watch, so you don't need internet, which is great if you're hiking or somewhere where you have no internet, you can still get that information. We have performance, training status, last activity, which will just show information about your last activity. We have steps, which I just put this on after waking up. You can kind of see your steps through there as well as your goal, and then some history, as well as the distance. Health status, which is kind of just a breakdown and summary of your heart rate, and then your body battery. The body battery is something that Garmin has built, which basically uses all your health information to kind of determine how much energy you have throughout the day, how much you built up while you were sleeping. It's kind of cool, and I do find it to be pretty accurate. As you can see, I have no events. Notifications, which is pretty cool. This is going to be all the notifications on your phone, and you can turn these on or off if there's one being too annoying. But if we select into that, it'll show all the notifications on your phone. So you can select into these to see more information, and you can even see more. So if this is an email or text, you can view a lot of information there. Now, one limitation with these, if you have an Android phone, you're going to be able to respond to text messages from your Fenix 6. And these messages can be customized and includes emojis and everything. But if you have an iPhone, you will not be able to do that. The only option you have with these is to just clear them. So that's a pretty big limitation in my mind, but it's really just because the iPhone has those limitations. After notifications, we have temperature, and this uses a thermometer on the watch that will be changed by your body temperature, so they recommend taking the watch off for a little bit to ensure you get a good reading. Music controls. If you get the Pro or Sapphire versions of the Fenix 6, you have the ability to store 2,000 songs on your Fenix 6. That's either just you upload MP3s, or you can use third-party apps such as Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, different things like that to actually play the music. Spotify, for me, works really good. You can download certain playlists that you have, and then if you update those in your Spotify account, it'll automatically download and delete those songs from your watch accordingly, which is really great. You can also do podcasts, everything like that. So if I go in here, you can kind of see how that works. So right now I have it configured to control the music on my phone, but you can easily change that to the internal music if you want to. But as you can see, it's very responsive. So it'll just play the music on my phone. I can change the song if I want to. It works very well. And if you were going to listen to any internal music from your Fenix 6, you would have to pair your watch with a pair of Bluetooth headphones. Going on to the next widget, we have Garmin Coach. And this is a really cool training program that Garmin offers for 5Ks, 10Ks, and then half marathons. I have a whole video covering that, so check the description for that. But this is where you can see more information about it, including starting your runs, stuff like that. Alternate time zone, that's pretty self-explanatory. Altimeter, barometer, body battery, calories burned. After calories, we have compass, and that's just going to be a compass. Then dog track. This uses a Garmin product that you can actually pair with your device that I guess allows you to track your dog. So I've never actually used that, but that's pretty cool. I recommend looking into that further if that interests you. After dog track, we have floors climbed, and this will track each floor that you climb with stairs. The goal right here of 10 is customizable manually. It does not have an automatic goal. And if you select into it, it'll show you your history of going up and down, which is pretty cool. You can keep track of that. We have golf. Never actually used that before, but they do have a dedicated golf widget. Then we have heart rate, which will give you a more in-depth look at your heart rate over the last 4 hours, and then you can see over the last 7 days. After heart rate, we have history, and this is going to show all the activity history you have for the last 30 days. You can even select into it and see your records, totals, anything like that, including all the activities that you've done in the past that are currently saved on the watch. Next, we have InReach, which will allow you to pair it with your InReach GPS tracker. That's pretty cool. So if you're doing anything such as backcountry camping, the AT, something like that, where you want to pair, where you're using an InReach, it's very cool that you can pair your Fenix 6 with that. Next, we have intensity minutes, and this is where the watch will record where you're working out, where your heart rate gets to a certain point. Now you can customize what that threshold is, but this will show you that. So if we go in there, you can kind of see the days where I've worked out. So you can see more information about that, which is pretty cool. After intensity minutes, we have some dedicated widgets for different activities such as bike riding, running, swimming, and then we have My Day. So this is going to give you a summary of your activity tracking for the day. So if I click into there, we can kind of see the intensity minutes from today. We can see calories burned, and this would also show your steps, floors climbed, different things like that as well. Pulse ox, which measures your blood oxygen level. I don't find it to be too accurate, and it uses a lot of battery. So while they say 14 hours of battery life, if you have pulse ox turned on, it actually will bring that down to about 11, I believe. So you're shaving off 3 days to have pulse ox while you sleep. Respiration, this tracks your breaths per minute. And I'm not sure how accurate that is as well. And then we have a stress measurement. So you can go in here if you're having a stressful day. This will kind of measure how stressful it is. It shows you your history of the last 4 hours. And then it also has a relax timer, which is a guided breathing. So you can set a couple minutes. So if we start that, it'll tell you when to breathe in, when to breathe out, so you can kind of slow down and be a little bit less stressed out. It also vibrates on the watch when it's changing right there, so that you don't have to look at it, you can just close your eyes. So that was all the built-in widgets on the Fenix 6. Like I said, you do have the option of downloading third-party widgets from the Garmin Connect IQ store, so I recommend checking out the Garmin Connect IQ store if you're interested in that. But I've been very impressed with the widgets that are built in. They work great. They're very useful as well. All right, so now that we've gone through the watch faces and widgets on the Fenix 6, let's get into the available activities that are built in and then the different data sets and tracking that they have for those. So we get into the activities by simply hitting the start or stop button in the top right up here. And this will bring us to a list of all the available activities on the watch. So as you can see, we have trail run, treadmill, hike, bike indoor, pool swim, walk, and elliptical. After that, we have navigate, expedition. Navigate is actually very powerful. We will get into that later. It's one of the best features on this watch in my opinion. Expedition, track me, and map. So you can go in there and view the map. And they even have more that are built in. So you can copy activities and customize them further. Multi-sport, indoor track, climb, mountain biking, open water swimming, triathlon, strength, ski, snowboard, 2 for cross-country skiing, sup, row indoors, kayak, golf, true swing, project waypoint, cardio, yoga, HRV, stress, clocks, swim run, floor climb, stair step, jump master, tactical, boat, breath workout, Pilates, and then other, which is kind of catch-all if you're doing something that's not included in that huge list of built-in activities, maybe boxing or something like that. One of the things I was definitely happy about with the Fenix 6 is that they include a hike category for activities, because the other watches, such as the Vivoactive 4 and the Forerunner 245, do not include that, and it's kind of annoying. All right, so I'm going to go into run, and we can kind of see from there what it looks like. So once we get into the run activity, it'll connect to the GPS, give us the amount of time we have on the battery life to run. As you can see, 34 hours. The first thing it's going to show is the data screen. So this can be customized completely. And if I scroll down, you can see all the different information that we have set up so far. So they have time of day, and then also maps right there. And from here, I can open up the run menu by simply holding down the menu button. We can go into the run settings. And then we can see the data screen. So this is where we can set up the screens that are available while we're in activity. So they currently have that 4 data screens. We can select the edit button and we can change that to show the different setups for the data screens. And you can even get it to show up to 6 data screens on there, which is really cool. You can have tons of data while you're working out. I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and select that one. And then after we select the layout we want for our data screens, we can select what each field will show. So we'll go through all of those now so you have an expectation of what you'll be getting if you get a Fenix 6. First we have timer fields, and we'll go through all those. After timer we have distance fields. Only 3 in there. Then we have pace fields. After pace, we have speed fields. Next, we have heart rate fields. After heart rate, we have run dynamics. Then we have cadence fields. Pace Pro fields, which is a pretty new feature for Garmin. After Pace Pro, we have temperature fields. Then we have elevation fields. After elevation, we have compass fields. Navigation fields. Muscle oxygen fields. After muscle oxygen, we have other fields. And then finally, we have graphical. All right, so those are going to be all the different data fields that you have available for your Fenix 6. So tons of options there. Really, this is a great watch for multi-sport. So they have tons for hiking. They have a lot of run dynamics in there if you're a runner. Very impressed with the amount of data fields available on this watch. All right, so after data screens in the run settings, we have alerts, and this is where you can set up different alerts for the watch during your activities based on several different criteria. So custom, where it will show a custom message. So it'll remind me to drink, and I can have that be based on time or distance. After that, and the different available custom messages built in are eat, turn around, go home, and then we can even write out our own custom ones right here, which is pretty cool. Other than the custom alerts, they have heart rate alerts, and these can be based on the different heart rate zones, which is pretty cool, and you can customize it so that it's a specific heart rate. And these can be configured to alert high and low. So if you want to stay in a specific range, that will do that there. They have alerts for run, walk, pace, time, distance, cadence, calories, elevation, and proximity. So that's going to be the alerts. After that, we have power modes. We'll go over that later. Metronome, you can turn that on or off. The map, you can view that and configure the themes there. They have routing, and this is where it will turn on the popular routing. So if you're on a hiking trail or a running trail, it'll show you how popular it is, and they'll show up on the map as well. Auto lap, so you can set the auto lap there, turn it on or off, and then configure the distance for that as well. Auto pause, which can be cool, so you can have it when you stop running, say you see a friend or you need a drink of water, you can have it stop recording the activity until you begin running again. You can also customize that. Climb Pro, not really sure what that is, and then auto climb, 3D speed, 3D distance, lap key, auto scroll, segment alerts, GPS, this is where you can configure the GPS. So they have GPS only, you can turn it off, GLONASS and Galileo. Now remember, it's important to play with these based on your region because if you're having issues syncing GPS, changing these will help. Now Ultra Track is a Garmin GPS mode that saves the battery, but I found that it's not very accurate at all, so I recommend testing that out before you record any actual activities because it may not work for you. Power save timeout mode, and that's where if you have the activity paused or stopped, it'll save the battery, so it'll turn off the backlight, things like that. Color background during your activity, accent colors, and then you can rename the activities as well as restore them to the default. So if you change a bunch of stuff in the run activity and you don't like it, you can just restore it to the way it was before you change those. So that's everything in the run settings. Now we'll move on to power modes. So one of the interesting things about the Fenix 6 is they have what's called power modes, and those are going to be available in the actual settings of the watch. So I'm going to go back there and we'll find that by going to the menu, and then it's right at the bottom right there. So first they have what's called a battery save mode, and this will change all of the settings on the watch when you're not in an activity. So as you can see, if I go in here, with the current settings I have for my battery saver, I can get 36 days of battery life. Now that is very limited right there. That's going to include no music, no phone connection, no Wi-Fi, activity tracking will be on, and then the heart rate monitor will be turned off as well. So there's very limited. But if you're in a situation like I was camping in Joshua Tree National Park, I don't need to have Wi-Fi. I don't need to have my phone connected. I'm not going to get any notifications because there's no signal there. You can turn on battery saver mode and then you know you have battery life for a long time. After battery saver though, we have what's called power modes. And this is where you can build power modes for activities so that you can be ensured that you'll get enough battery life to finish that activity. If you're doing some sort of triathlon or maybe a 100-mile run, something that takes several hours to do and you don't want to run out of battery life. So if we go in there, you can see they have some built-in ones, which is max battery, 72 hours, jacket mode, 39 hours. And then I've created a custom one here, which gives me 47 hours. That's for hiking with no signal. So I don't need to have my phone or music or anything like that, but I do need to have GPS. So we can go in there, we can see what is all turned on and off for these. You can configure the GPS. It's pretty cool. And it does give you a summary under the name right there, which is really nice if you're going through the selected. So if I go back to the activities, we can select those in the power mode and choose which one we want to use during our activity, and that'll update the power mode and what options are available during that activity on the watch. And you can even do that while you're in an activity. If you notice that something's missing or something, or if you want to change it real quick, you can do that, which is nice. Under power modes, we have training, and this is where you can view workouts. You can also do interval training and set up some pace pro plans, which will help with your running efficiency and the pace of your running. You also have segments, lactic threshold guided test, and then you can set targets and then even race your previous activities, which is really awesome. Your training calendar, so if you can select in there, you can see today I have a benchmark run from Garmin Coach, so I need to go do that. That's going to be everything for training. We also have navigation, so we'll go ahead and get into the navigation on the Fenix 6. This is one of the best features in my opinion. So as you can see, tons of options in here compared to the other Garmin watches. The first is going to be points of interest. And what this will do is show you different points on a map around you. So in here, I'm going to select fuel services. And if I do around me, see, as you can see, it's currently searching for GPS. So it'll find different fuel service areas that are close to me. So I can do around me, which will show me on a map all the fuel surface places around me. Then I can navigate to them. But I can also just select the stores that are close to me, select that, and then I can go to it. So it'll start navigating me there. I can view it on a map, which is pretty cool. So you can actually see exactly where it's at on the map. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and then you can pan up and down, as you can see, and go right and left. So very cool, tons of information. As you can see, you do have the street names, tons of information there. This is all built into the watch. So you don't need to have a connection to the internet or your phone or Wi-Fi or anything like that to have all of this information. You can also see the blue there, so it shows bodies of water, which basically means you have something like Google Maps built into your watch all the time that'll search locations around you and show you where gas is at, food, different things like that. So if you don't have internet, if you're in a small town, you're going to be able to have information about your surroundings all built into your watch. Very, very cool. One of the most impressive things I found about this watch. So we'll skip forward a little bit to save locations because it's kind of important for everything else. So save locations are just where you use the GPS on the watch to quickly save your location. This is great for maybe a trailhead point or where you parked your car, but you can always navigate back to that. And then you get a ton of information when you select into there. We can either start navigating to it. You can see details about it, such as the elevation, the GPS position. And if you did want to edit these to customize and enter your own positions in here for GPS, all you need to do is go down to position, and then you can edit it there, which is pretty cool. You can change all the information about them, including the name, the icon that's displayed on the map, and then you can view it on a map. So as you can see here, we can zoom out as far as we want and see where this is at. Looks like somewhere in Utah. All right, so you can see where I saved that location. Pretty cool. I love the detail when you zoom out. You can see the states, you can see local cities around there. Very cool. So now that we have saved locations, you can build courses and actually have it guide you through the different save locations. So courses are going to be a set of saved locations. So if we do that right now, create one, we can name it, and then we can add a location. You can either use your current location or you can use save locations. So I'll use this one, and then I'll add another one. We'll use this one right here. So now I can go to done, and we can view that, or we can do the course. So this is going to be in Mexico. I was in Mexico just last week, and you can kind of see that kind of shows on the map. But as you can see also, this is in a different country than the US. You can see the roads there. You can see information about the body of water. It's pretty cool. It even has some of the information about the road, such as the name of it. So that can be really useful. You could be anywhere in the world and you'll have this information built into your watch. And then in here they have different things like last MOB, sight and go, which is you kind of use the watch to point a distance away from you and have it guide you to that. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Coordinates, it'll show you your current coordinates, and then you can use the map to view there just like you would on Google Maps or anything like that. And that's going to be it in the run settings. So pretty powerful when it comes to activity tracking and the data you get. And also the navigation on this is extremely impressive. All right, so now that we've gone through the activities on the watch, the widgets, and the watch faces, I want to go through what's called the control menu, which is basically a quick access menu to several items available on the watch. We get to it by holding down the light button. So as you can see here, it kind of shows you a menu. We have your Garmin wallet. So this is where you can save credit cards, things like that to the watch and then use it to pay at compatible cash registers and things like that. You can quickly turn on battery saver mode. You can do a time sync, so if you change time zones, this can be a quick way to update the time on the watch. It also updates the sunrise, sunset, and the altitude and everything for the specific location that you're at. So I find that I use that a lot. If I change my location, I could still be in the same time zone, but I want to update that time sync so that I get the latest sunset and sunrise. Do not disturb mode can be turned on and off manually from here, and that just stops any vibrations or tones from notifications in your move bar. This also can be configured to turn on and off automatically during specific sleep times that you configure. We have Find My Phone, which is a cool feature. So I have my phone right here. If I select that, it'll show me how far away I am from my phone. My phone will make a tone, and it should be flashing the light back here, but for some reason it's not right now. But as you can see right there, it shows the proximity to my phone. So if I get farther away, it'll turn yellow and then red. We also have a way to quickly save your location on the watch. And then you can set up alarms, timers, and stopwatches. Some of the other available controls that you can add to this menu are going to be unlock and lock the keys, which is great if you're doing an activity where a lot of the buttons get pressed. You can turn on and off your connection to your phone, turn on and off Wi-Fi, add stopwatch, altimeter, barometer, compass, backlight controls. You can put that up or lower it. They also have a flashlight mode. I will show you that later. Broadcast your heart rate. This is during activities. Alternate time zones, sunrise, sunset, in-reach controls, Garmin Assistant. So let's get into that. As you can see, it adds a little thing right there. One of the latest features that Garmin added in 2019 is going to be incident detection and Garmin Assistance. The Fenix 6 has both of those. We can get into where we can see the menu for that. We go into the menu, go down to settings, and go to safety and tracking. So first they have incident detection. Incident detection is only available on specific activities. So run, trail run, bike, walk, and hike right here. So you can only use it on those 5 activities. And basically what it's going to do is going to alert some emergency contacts that you configured on your phone in the Garmin Connect app if it detects a fall. Now it will give you a 20-second countdown. I have a tutorial over this and demonstration over both Garmin Assistance and incident detection, so check the description for that if you want more information. But like I said, it's a little bit limited, and some people have had issues with it turning on while they're mountain biking, or if they're hiking, they jump on a rock or something, it'll turn on and think you fell. And it can be a little bit alarming to your emergency contacts, so you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your watch if you're using it. And basically, Garmin Assistance is the same thing, except that it's turned on manually. So if I hold down the light button, it'll bring up the control menu, but if I continue to hold it on, it's going to turn on Garmin Assistance right there. So it's getting ready to send it. I'm going to cancel that real quick so I don't freak out my family. But all it takes is holding the button down for 5 seconds, and then it will count down for 5 seconds, and it's going to start sending out that information. This does include your current location if it can get a GPS signal, and it's going to show that live. So it'll give them a link to a website that Garmin has set up where it will track you and show your current location as it changes. Very cool right there, and I think that this can be useful for a lot of reasons. All right, so that was the control menu on the Fenix 6. Now I'm just going to open up the menu. We can kind of go through here, see if there's anything we want to check out. As you can see, they have activities and apps. If you had any third-party apps that you downloaded from the Garmin Connect IQ store, they have tons of hiking apps and biking, all kinds of stuff. This is where you would access it there. Widgets, control menu, watch faces, sensors and accessories. You can add external heart rate monitors, different things like that in here. Maps, this is where you can customize the maps. Music, this is where you can change the music providers. You can pair Bluetooth headphones and then also change the type of audio that the watch will play. We also have phone information, Wi-Fi. You could turn on or off the audio prompts, change your information about yourself, safety and tracking, activity tracking, navigation, power management, and system. So the last thing I want to show you on the Fenix 6 is going to be the hotkeys right here. And this is a very cool feature in my opinion. So basically what you can do is configure what happens if you hold down the different buttons or combinations of buttons on the watch. So if I go back to the watch face and I hold down my start button, I have it configured to open up the flashlight, which basically puts the brightness all the way up and then changes the background to white. Now, it doesn't seem like a watch would be able to give off that much light, but if you're in a very dark environment, you can actually navigate with this. You could see different things. You could read by it, really, if you wanted to. I find it's very useful around the house. You can set the thermostat at night using it, so it's really cool to have that quickly accessible. I also have save locations set up. different things like that that are customizable. And these are the different options available for the hotkeys. And then these are the different combinations that are available for the buttons. All right, so that was a full overview and walkthrough of the Fenix 6, including the watch faces, the control menu, the widgets, and all the activities, as well as some of the settings and menus on the watch. If you'd like more information about the Fenix 6, I recommend checking the playlist I have in the description because I have a couple other reviews with more information, as well as several tutorials doing in-depth how-tos of different features available on the Fenix 6. Now, when it comes to activity tracking, sleep tracking, heart rate monitor, all the different tracking on the watch, I find it to be very accurate. The only things I don't feel like are accurate on the watch is going to be pulse ox and maybe respiration. Pulse ox definitely seems to be off. Some of the readings I get just don't make sense for someone who's alive, so I think that they have some work to do there. When it comes to the battery life, this version of the Fenix 6 is said to get 14 days. I do think that that's accurate. Like I showed you before, they have battery saving and then different power modes so that you can configure the watch to get the battery life that you want. In the menus, it also shows you not only the percentage of battery life left, but how many days. I currently have this at full brightness on the backlight, so it's definitely brought down the battery life there. But I would say I get about 14 to 13 days of battery life out of my Fenix 6, so I'm very happy with that. Now, when it comes to the features on this watch, extremely impressed. This is the coolest watch I've ever had. I love having the maps. When I was hiking in Joshua Tree, we had no signal, but it was great to have the maps. The maps on this watch have tons of trails in the backcountry of national parks in different areas of the country that weren't even marked in the park. So I was walking, we found a trail, and it was really cool to be able to find that on my watch without any external information. I've been very impressed with the sensors on the watch, the altimeter, the barometer, different things like that. It does a really good job of tracking those and then updating them so you can see that information live on your watch face. All right, so that was a full walkthrough and overview of the Fenix 6. If you have any questions about the Fenix 6, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to see more Fenix 6 tutorial videos, check the links in the description. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel, Gauging Gadgets, more gadget reviews and tech tutorials. Thank you so much for watching.